Hello everyone. It's great to see you again in today's video. Tu Tien and Jack were moving potted plants to the front yard together. They planned to use these potted plants to decorate their new house. After moving the plants, Jack went closer to the house he was working on. He called the worker out to discuss the progress of the project. The two of them were talking enthusiastically. While Jack was discussing work, Tu Tien went inside to take a bag of fruit and cut it open to invite the workers to sit down and take a break. While she was cutting the melon, she called the workers to stop and sit down to rest for a while. The red ripe melons were cut into pieces by Tu Tien and then given to Jack and everyone to eat. Everyone sat together and ate the newly cut melons Tu Tien had just cut and talked happily. They discussed the progress of the project and talked about solutions to help the project complete quickly. In the small house, mother-in-law Tu Tien was lying in her hand, holding the ring that was a keepsake of Tu Tien. She suddenly sat up and looked at the ring for a while, muttering, "I wonder if I can sell this ring for a lot of money, but now I have no money to spend." She added, "Jack, this time it will be difficult to trick him into giving me this ring. I thought I could trick him into some money, but I didn't expect him to be so cautious this time. Now that he has no money, how can I find a way to get money?" Then she suddenly remembered that last time Jack said her husband was on his farm, so she immediately thought of a way to go there and tell her husband to tell Jack to give her some money to spend. Tu Tien and Jack are working together to plant more fruit trees in the corner of the garden of the new house. Jack is diligently digging a hole to plant the tree while Tu Tien is helping him take the tree out of the pot. Together, they skillfully put the tree in the hole and then adjust it so that it stands straight before starting to look after it. They want these green trees to both decorate and create shade for the small yard in the future. After planting the tree, Jack stood up and told Tu Tien to go get him some bricks and bring them here. Listening to Tu Tien, he used a cart to load the bricks onto the cart and pushed it to where Jack was standing. Seeing Tu Tien pushing the bricks, Jack quickly ran out to help her. After getting the bricks, Tu Tien curiously asked Jack what he was using the bricks for. Jack smiled and answered Tu Tien that he wanted to use these bricks to create vegetable beds for Tu Tien. He took out his phone to show her the illustrations so that Tu Tien could understand how he made the vegetable beds. The two were talking enthusiastically when they suddenly heard a loud scolding coming from the farm below where Tu Tien's father-in-law was. Worried about what was happening, the two quickly threw their belongings and went down to the farm to see what was happening. It turned out that Tu Tien's mother-in-law came here to find trouble. She stood there and yelled at her husband, saying that he was irresponsible when he was here, living a comfortable life with a house to live in, while she and her son were starving one day and having no house to live in, having to wander around. Her husband heard that and said that he and she had nothing to do with each other. In the past, she and her mother played around and had to sell the house. Then they chased him out of the house. Luckily, at that time, Jack was kind enough to take him in and let him stay here. Now, why would she and her mother look for him? She immediately tried to justify that now she wanted to bring him back to live with her and her mother. He just needed Jack to give them some money to build a house. While she was talking, Jack and Tu Tien also came in. They were outside and heard her whispers. Jack asked her why she was here. She said she was here to pick up her husband. Hearing that, her husband immediately said that he would not come back with her, so she should not come here to look for him anymore. He also warned her that Tu Tien had now found a new lover, Jack. So from now on, she should not come here to find trouble and try to harm Tu Tien. She said loudly and angrily, "I came here to pick you up. If you do not come back, I will still come tomorrow to bother you until you tell Jack to give me the money." She spoke in an unreasonable way that no one could accept. Then she held out her finger and said, "I had gone to the trouble of finding this ring, the ring that was a keepsake of Tu Tien. The other day I told Jack to give me some money and I would give him this ring, but he refused. So when I get home today, I will take this ring and sell it for money." Seeing that she had a ring that she used to wear around her neck when she was young, Tu Tien wanted to see it. but she held her hand back and said that if Jack agreed to give her money, she would give her the ring, otherwise she would not. After saying that, she turned and left. Tu Tien stood there with a sad face. Jack immediately comforted her and asked Tu Tien if that ring was really hers that she used to wear when she was little. Tu Tien said she only vaguely remembered that she used to have a jade ring like that around her neck, and whether it was really the one her mother-in-law had just held or not, she couldn't remember because it had been so long ago that she couldn't remember clearly. Tu Tien's father-in-law also stood up and said his wife was a very cunning and scheming person who often came up with tricks to deceive others. So everything needed to be investigated and she shouldn't believe her. Jack also comforted Tu Tien to rest assured that he would help her investigate and verify the truth. And now they had to go home. Tu Tien suddenly remembered that Jack had an important contract today and had to go home early. She hurriedly said goodbye to her father-in-law and went home with Jack. When they got out of the car, Jack comforted Tu Tien again. He said that the last time he met her, he took a picture of the ring and asked her to look again to see if it was really hers. Then he took out his phone and showed it to Tu Tien. She looked at it but still wasn't sure if the ring was hers. Jack said that next time he would find her and ask to get the ring back. Tu Tien was relieved and said that Jack told her to get in the car and he would take her home. While Jack and Tu Tien were talking, she hid behind the bushes to eavesdrop on them. When she knew Jack also wanted the ring on her hand, she said she would have a way to get Jack's money. In the end, the ring worked. She was truly a sinister and evil person. Jack got home and quickly changed his clothes and prepared the documents to put in his briefcase. Tu Tien knocked on the door and asked if he was ready yet. She helped Jack straighten his tie. Jack told Tu Tien that this meeting with the partner was very important to his company. If he signed the contract this time, his company would have a lot of work. Tu Tien didn't know how to help Jack. She could only encourage him and wish him luck in signing this important contract. After saying that, she gave Jack a kiss and helped him carry his briefcase out. Jack and Tu Tien sat down next to his mother. Jack told his mother that today he had an appointment with an important partner to discuss future projects. If this time was successful, his company would have the opportunity to develop further. Hearing that, she wished her son success in signing the big contract. After talking to his mother, Jack hurried to meet the partner for fear of being late. Tu Tien and Jack's mother sat down and watched Jack leave, then said that this contract must be very important, seeing Jack in such a hurry. While talking, Jack's mother turned around and discovered that he had forgotten the contract at home. She said that Jack had gone up in a hurry and forgotten the contract. She immediately took out her phone to call Jack, but he didn't answer the phone, so they guessed that he was driving up and didn't pay attention to his phone. Too worried about Jack. If he didn't have the contract, it would affect Jack's work. Tu Tien hurriedly told her to bring it to the coffee shop for Jack, because this morning she also saw Jack say he had an appointment with a partner at a coffee shop nearby to talk about work. Jack's mother also agreed to let her go. Before leaving, she told her to be careful because it was raining and the road was very slippery, lest she fall. After listening to her mother's instructions, Tu Tien hurriedly took the contract and left. While walking, she tried to call Jack to see if he would answer the phone or not. Jack arrived at the meeting place but did not see the contract he prepared to meet the partner. Jack quickly took out his phone to call his mother to ask if she had found the documents he forgot at home. His mother immediately said Tu Tien was on her way to bring them to him. Tu Tien was in a hurry to go to the place where Jack had arranged to meet his partner to give him the contract. It was raining outside. She was in such a hurry that she didn't have time to pick up an umbrella. She used a banana leaf to cover her head. As she walked, Tu Tien kept calling Jack. She kept her head down, looking at her phone, not paying attention to the road. At the intersection, a big car was rushing towards her, making Tu Tien surprised and unable to dodge. Tu Tien only had time to look up and scream loudly. A strong collision caused Tu Tien to fall down. People around rushed to help Tu Tien up and saw that her head was bleeding profusely. At this time, Tu Tien was completely unconscious. Seeing that she was seriously injured, people quickly carried her to the car and took her to the hospital for emergency treatment. Jack on this side still did not know that Tu Tien had an accident. He went into the cafe to meet his partner. He apologized for forgetting the contract at home. He told them to wait a bit because his friend was on his way to bring the contract here for him. After waiting for a while, Jack still did not see Tu Tien bring the contract to him. He got impatient and stood up to go outside to call her, but he kept calling but could not get through. While he was standing on the phone, a man came into the cafe and said that there had just been an accident over there. A girl who was not paying attention on the road was hit by a car and was just taken to the hospital. Jack went back to the table and apologized to his partner for today's mistake. He made an appointment with his partner to meet again next time and they would discuss the work again. When the partner left, Jack noticed the conversation about the accident that the man next to him was telling. He seemed to be wondering, so he quickly wrote it down and paid the water bill. Then he quickly ran to find Tu Tien. Jack's expression at this moment was very worried. When Jack got home, he quickly asked his mother if Tu Tien had gone home yet. She said, "Didn't Tu Tien bring the documents for you?" Jack said he had waited for a long time but didn't see her. He didn't know where she had gone. The two of them sat there thinking, wondering where Tu Tien had gone. Jack hurriedly said, "Let me go to the farm and see if she had gone into the farm." After saying that, Jack quickly stood up and ran to find Tu Tien, feeling uneasy and worried about her.